Good evening, everyone. My name is Nadia Nazir. I'll be your host for today, and I hope you are doing fine. So, financial freedom is something we all strive for at some point in our lives. As far as my life is concerned, I strive for it all the time. And when it comes to doing that, we tend to believe that savings are enough to be financially stable. But from a practical perspective, you would realize that saving alone cannot achieve financial freedom. Insuring your assets with general insurance policies is equally important. So, purchasing insurance ensures that you are financially secure in case you face any type of problem in life, which is why insurance is a very important part of financial planning. A general insurance company offers insurance policies to secure health, travel, motor vehicle, and home. And the convenient part of it is that you can purchase all these insurance policies online nowadays. And all of it is at your fingertips, literally. Which is why we are here to talk about the InsurTech company called VSure and their application. With us today, we have Eddy Wong, VSure Group co-founder, CEO and Managing Director, and also Alston Yong, co-founder, Group Chief Actuary and Product Officer. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, Nadia.
Hi, Nadia. Hi, everyone.
All right, so let's get started with our first question. This one is for Eddy. How does VSure application work, and how is it different than the traditional method?
Well, I think that's usually the questions that people are asking us as the innovator in the insurance space, right? As we all know, the insurance industry has been one of the oldest industry it's existed for more than 600 years. And in Malaysia alone, the insurance industry is rather very matured, it's been built over the last 50, 60 years. We have a lot of foreign insurers being in Malaysia, offering a myriad of different insurance products, right? But what we have yet to see is that the industry or the incumbent players coming up with products that is more adaptive to individual lifestyle, right? And this is where we are seeking some opportunities to positively disrupt the market through our on-demand lifestyle digital insurance model, right? We remove all the unnecessary manual process of buying insurance through the paperwork, engaging the agents that you literally, like you say, it's under your fingertips. You can buy insurance on the go, on demand, right? And we are also making our proposition of product and services to be a lot more accessible through the mobile phone and through online channel and other multi-channel as well. And we make it so affordable and micro bite size so that it can be highly appreciated by all walks of life, right, in buying protection for themselves, right? So that's the main difference compared to the traditional product. You still need to go to an agent, you buy insurance, you fill up the form. Now you can literally buy it through your mobile phone within 3 minutes. So that sets the distinctive difference between a digital insurer platform like us compared to the traditional player.
I love the sound of it because the thing is, during the pandemic, there was a lot of traveling, and with all the traveling came a lot of inconveniences. I was one of those people who was stuck having to look for travel insurance and then having to go through all these websites and like, is this better than that one? Can this be trusted? Can this be used in Asia, or is this only for Europe? And it was a headache. Now knowing that there's an app and you can just use it on your phone, this is super amazing. But I'm sure there are more advantages to VSure.
Yeah, maybe Alston is good for your side too.
Oh yeah. Thanks. I think that definitely there's a lot of advantages like what supporting what Eddy have just mentioned. In VSure we are believing in the three enabler that we are. So we enable the masses. So VSure will bring that re-image insurance protection to the masses. It kind of educating the importance of the financial literacy and also staying insured. So like what also Nadia have mentioned just now, is how we actually enable or even empower the public to just get the protection at your fingertips. To make it more affordable, the ultra bite side kind of a product concept that how we offer a truly on-demand protection to the people or to the masses. And the second enabler that we are talking about here, we enable the businesses. So through the collaboration, VSure can deliver value for cooperative and also the corporations with the ESG and tech for good initiative. And for example, we have organized in the past various charity run with a various kind of a charity organization and also the corporate in Malaysia. And this including our latest one with Pusat Wakaf to celebrate the Malaysia Day, the Hari Malaysia on the September of the 16th, to encourage people to do the fitness at the same time is also doing a good cause to the society. So hence we are kind of how we enable the businesses to grow the ESG component and tech for good initiative with everyone. And lastly, we are also enable the nation. It's in line with the Bank Negara and government digital and financial inclusion agenda. We sure can help to bridge the gap and also bring a meaningful and positive change through the power of the tech and also the product innovation. So we are here not just to kind of producing a protection for the sake of producing, but we at VSure here to actually understand the pain point, the needs, the digital needs for the today's generation and also the era to better create or even better customize a product which is best for everyone and fitted to everyone's daily needs. So hence, I would say this kind of conclude the advantage of VSure.
Speaking of being digital and all that, lately there has been a lot of reports of scammers and people losing their money while their money is sitting safely in the bank accounts, and we don't really know what the reason is. I believe that this is a very important thing. One of the reasons why you need to insure to make sure that you're not just safe, like you said, while traveling, safe with your health. So then this brings me to the next question, Alston. Like, what kind of insurance does VSure offer? Like, can it be customized to meet the needs of customers like myself who wants to keep my very little money in the bank account safe?
Yep. So definitely VSure is offering a full range, I would say a full range and more comprehensive insurance protection to everyone. So when you browse through our apps, we are actually served as one-stop solution for everyone. So we offer every kind of the insurance in Malaysia or in the market related to the life protection, the health and medical, the critical illnesses, even the motor insurance, the travel, home, and even the personal accident. And last but not least, which is our on-demand flagship product, a FlexiFit. So FlexiFit is where we are protecting a truly on-demand coverage, a very micro coverage that protecting you or giving you a peace of mind when you are doing a fitness activity. For example, you are going to have a jogging, a running in the park, and this is where we are giving you as low as a 5-hour protection for you to enjoy your run or your kind of an evening activity with your family or your loved one with a peace of mind. So that's where we are promoting a truly on-demand concept here. And yes, one of our main specialty is really we offer a more customizable and more affordable and convenient insurance to everyone, not just to the individual, but also to the group or even a community. So this is where we do offer our kind of a services as an insurance product and also bundle with our technology or empower with our technology that really bring a seamless and even a very kind of affordable protection to everyone. So we are really here to breaking the traditional insurance mold by offering customer a chance to select the tailor-made insurance package through our apps and via our kind of application to suit your needs and also your what you actually want. So it makes a really on-demand and truly what you really want to experience via your protection. So this also makes the plan to be more affordable and more comprehensive in a way.
Speaking about technology, digital transformation is something that moves really, really fast. Like one day you think that your I'll give an example. For example, a company adopts a new technology and then suddenly within a year there's some sort of new digital transformation, and therefore you need to update again. So how does like this digital transformation affect the insurance industry?
I mean, that's a very good question, Nadia. I think, as I mentioned, insurance is a very old industry, right? For the last 600 years, there's not been any huge disruption per se, right? Still being done in a way that, agents sell products to you and stuff like that. But over the last couple of years, especially the last 2 years, right, we're seeing digital adoption accelerated by 1,000 times, right? Changes in social demographics itself, changes in the environment, the pandemic that we have to go through, advancement in technology, and all this culminated to a different sets of customers' expectations, or so-called a different sets of customer experience that customer wanting, right? Like they want things at the fingertips, right? The generation of the now, right? They want things now, on demand and stuff like that, right? And we're seeing a lot of young tech-savvy customers that wanting to really subscribe to things, buy things online and things. And insurance, we see that as more of an essential services moving forward. Hence, what Alston mentioned about making it on demand, pay per use, bite size will be a very fitted product proposition to the current generation. Again, we designed the products to be more of a more inclusive product that is more that opens to all segment of the top 20 M40 and B40 through multi-channels, right? So definitely the digital transformation, as you say, because of all these other factors I just mentioned about demographics, the environment has really caused the change of how we offer services. At VSure, we continuously harness, all this technological advancement and the changes in the environment to build the right kind of product proposition that fit to the market, right? And but one more thing that we found out is that nowadays the younger generations are brand agnostic, right? They're more subscribed to the era of convenience, right? I just want things like this now, snappy, make it happen. So, which is why, why we position ourselves, right? We choose ourselves to play carefully in the market. We play in the market that's on demand, right? It's you are empowered to drive your own financial protection at the power of your hand. Like you put it at the very beginning, literally at your fingertips. You can decide how much you want to cover, how much you can afford to pay at the power of your palm. So this is our view. I think I believe this will be the right directions that we are heading, and we will continuously to harness the changes, the development in the technology world. For instance, things like blockchain, cloud computing. This will be the kind of technological changes that will change the landscape of the insurance industry moving forward.
Is an era of instant gratification and of like
Exactly.
short attention span, and everything is short term. Nobody really thinks about long term. So it's really good, like you said, bite sized. So you think, oh, maybe I want it just for like 3 months. I can't think about what I want to do in the next quarter or so. It's too long to think about, right?
Yeah.
I know I'm like
Exactly.
that. But is it only targeted to the younger generation? That like, what plans do you have to make it more accessible to older generations?
Yeah, I think VSure we are not just targeted to the younger generation. I think we take care the inclusiveness for all the generation, or even every group of the income group that we are talking about, the B40, the M40, even the top 20. But where we are is we targeted to anyone who is really interested in getting themselves insured in any form via the digital way or even the digital form. So we kind of promoting the on-demand concept, So we empower the user to have the flexibility to really tailor make to actually getting the insurance or even the protection at any time you want. It doesn't matter you have to be very long term, but it can be even a day or even a few hours. If you just want to get yourself protected in a few hours, this is where we are actually have a solution for you, truly on demand in this case. And here at VSure, we are really believe that insurance is meant to be a protection coverage that is accessible by anyone and everyone. And we want to make this a reality for everyone so that this would actually close the kind of a protection gap that existing in Malaysia. We are not just only working towards positively disrupting the insurance landscape by revolutionizing the industry processes, but we also hope to positively disrupt the mindset, the perception of the whole ecosystem. So, for example, the public. So, how can we make it be part of our mission is to educate the masses on how to understand or undertake this kind of a digital insurance and the evolving way to acquire insurance digitally. So it's no longer a brick and mortar or no longer kind of a wire the agent. So it's how you yourself could actually go to the website, the application, and get or even acquire this kind of insurance protection that you need. Our services, including our website and also our mobile apps, are easy to navigate and also to understand. So it's not just friendly to the millennial, to the Gen Z, Gen Y, the generation, but it's also friendly to, I would say, to every age group that as long as you have, you actually own a smartphone. And this is built to really cater for every age group, just like the UI that we are building here. We are not just having the iOS version, but we also have our Android version as well. So it's more accessible for everyone. And even on the iOS version, we also have it whether in the iPhone kind of a version or even an iPad version. So we are also a very big on the education. So we want our customer to really understand what you can actually do first before you are signing up with us. So the awareness is very important, and hence I think this is where we are pressing very hard on how to increase the awareness of the insurance or even a very short-term insurance for everyone here.
Yeah. Just to add on to Alston's point, I think um, the topic about financial awareness, I think that is something that the central bank is pushing towards, right? I think about financial inclusivity and all the stuff. I think there's still a lot more to be done, especially on the financial inclusivity part, right? And one of the key steps is to creating the financial awareness. And VSure is so uniquely positioned in this space to really help to drive financial awareness through, like what Alston said, right, through the power of tech-enabled financial and digital innovation, right? Financial awareness nowadays can be done through a lot of different medium, but we are well positioned to really drive that as well, right? So that is another thing that I just want to add on to Alston's point.
I'm sure that seeing as to how this is, you guys have decided to create something that was slightly outside the box, slightly less traditional, being a digital insurance company. Like, what are the challenges that your company had to face moving into this?
Yeah, a lot. But first of all, I think we tend to be, our thinking is there's no box. I think first of all, there's no box, right? I think if we are to reimagine how protection is going to be moving forward, we have to be operating not even within the box environment. There's no box, right? It's not outside. It can be any form. It can be oval. It can be triangle. But first and foremost, we are in a highly regulated business environment. Very highly regulated because we are regulated by the central bank. In many ways, it's also, need to be in compliance with certain other regulators, but mostly are central banks, right? They are. And then, we also, we are a startup, right? And startup, you need funding. So we will also be scrutinized by our investors as to how we're going to grow, how we're going to scale, right? As a startup, you are safe the first 3 years, but some even the first 5 years you're burning money. You also hear it from other global insurtechs like Lemonade. All this, it took them about 7 years to be profitable, right? So the challenges with the investors, the regulators, and just now we talk about customers, the awareness. How do we educate them? InsurTech penetration on digital insurance is just merely less than 3% of the market. Still, the 97 of the market still don't know who are you, what do you do in InsurTech, right? Those are the key challenges, right? And those are the things that we keep moving, keep looking for opportunities to see how we can really help to bring the industry up so that people are more aware about what we do. Positive disruption always move first before any regulatory will come. That's the challenge. I think that itself is already a challenge. That means we are working with the regulator. They don't even have the framework in the environment that we are supposed to be working on. So we are leading a charge where there's no framework. So positive disruption always need to move first. That itself is already a challenge. And also, we are also thinking about moving overseas and all this stuff. So, the regulatory challenges overseas also is one of the challenges. And then the last challenge will be talent. I think talent is one of the has always been a problem since day one, since we got incorporated. Starting from the founding group to where we are, about 30 people. It's really, really not easy because just think about it, right? If my son, it's like there's a company out there who would you want to join HSBC or VSure, naturally they say okay, they want to join HSBC. So our brand name is not huge enough to attract talent, and not to mention that neighboring country like Singapore is like we are seeing brain draining towards Singapore, right? So talent is one of the other challenges, right? So it is very challenging, Nadia, to be honest. But that's the very reason why myself and Alston, we decided to dive into this, because it's a challenging thing that we want to do, right? If we don't do it now, when, right? If not us, then who, right? So, yeah, those are the challenges that we face as the digital insurer. Of course, the other stuff will be, as we get more and more scrutiny from the regulator, the compliance and risk and compliance challenges. There's a huge undertaking on risk and compliance challenges. Alston can talk about it more if you want to, but because it's a lot of things that we agree and disagree with the regulatory and compliance side, but no choice, we just have to do it, right? And the cost of doing the compliance is a huge challenge as well, right? So, yep, that's it. I think, Alston, anything you want to add on in this space?
Yeah, I just want to add on. I'm not meant here to boil down the conversation on throwing out the formula, the product complication. But I think one of the challenge that we have been is really the COVID-19 pandemic as well. So how our company or even our product is meant to, our flagship product that we just mentioned on the FlexiFit is actually meant for the pre kind of a pandemic environment, when there is a physical run, you do your, let's say, your stand chart run like every year on the year end. So I think that's where it get changes during the pandemic time, where everything you have to put a hard stop, and even a kind of a virtual run is popping up during this kind of pandemic period, and which is where we our team here is staying more agile, or even we are filing or even requesting a different kind of set of a product kind of a specification with the regulator to really explain the kind of the dynamic of the market, and how to make to actually partner with the regulator, handhold with the regulator to actually make a more relevant product that is more suitable to the market. And hence, I think this is where the challenge from the team, or even on the regulation side, how we actually make our product or keep constantly evolve and staying agile to the market dynamic, and react with the market to actually make the best offering to our people or even to our user. So I think this is one of the challenge that also we have been facing during this COVID pandemic time.
Yep.
I think the pandemic really taught a whole lot to a lot of us, because now we all realize we need insurance. That's the most important thing. But you guys being pioneers, of course, you're paving the way for future people who want to do, maybe they also want to start doing the same things, but maybe 10 years down the line, nobody's daring to do it, but you guys are the pioneers, of course. you have some challenges. But before we continue, I just want to quickly remind our viewers today that VSure recently launched their exciting quiz at the link below. So if you click on that, you stand a chance to win movie tickets, Garmin watches, all worth more than 4,000 ringgit. And all you have to do is take the quiz, download and register the VSure app. It's that simple. Okay. Now you also can receive their free Easy PA insurance by using the code MKINI VSure. Very easy to remember. Don't forget to fill up the Google form at the end of the quiz. All the best to you. Now, of course, Easy PA is an annual personal accident plan offering coverage for permanent disability or death caused by an accident. For more information, you can visit their website. Now, Eddy, I have another question for you. Being the second driver in digitalization, what are the roles of consumers in InsurTech industry?
When you say second driver, I mean, is this aligned with the Bank Negara financial blueprint sector, right? You know, FS financial sector blueprint, right? The role of the consumer here, I think, is really about being more aware about what is available out there in the market, and be financially responsible, like what Alston mentioned, right? They need to be financially responsible, and how they should look into not just about, like you said, not just about, oh, I have enough savings in the bank, that's it. You know, it's like they need to be financially responsible in a way that if anything that happened to them or their family members, do we have enough financial protection or safeguards, right, to protect ourselves in the event of any untoward incident? So that requires a lot of education awareness, where, you know, the regulators or insurtech players like us, or even incumbent insurers, by and large, we should come together really, really to promote that. Because financial literacy is not just about us talking, you know, and all this stuff. It need to be all stakeholders coming together to really drive that and start to seed that financial literacy at, I mean, for instance, even at the school level, high school level, or even, you know, at the tertiary education level and stuff like that, right? You know, we are doing something, you know, to try to promote this with the tertiary level, working with the some partners to bring financial literacy at the universities and stuff like that, right? That's the right time for them to really understand, right? And even we are seeing a lot of tertiary institution and universities having their own little association and club talking about fintech, talking about insurtech. You know, I myself, Alston, has been invited back to a few universities to talk about insurtech, insurance, fintech, and stuff like that. We see a demand in that space. I think that is a good start that we should go in to really help to promote and drive financial education, financial awareness, and stuff like that. And as the insurtech player, I think all we can do is to keep moving into this direction, right? Sometimes the things that we do is not really about making profit. It's really about setting the right foundations, which eventually, you know, when the insurance industry become a more stable, more sustainable one, what we have done now will pave the way for other players to come in, right? I think that is the other bigger goal that VSure is doing. We are the pioneer. We are the leading one. We're the first one to go into the sandbox. But after we got in, now we paved the way for other players to come into the sandbox a lot more, you know, learn, all right, a lot more savvy about how to go about maneuvering the sandbox and stuff like that. The same that we're doing on financial literacy. So this is what we are game to do.
Like you said, I think it is really important to start in the tertiary level, because these are the ones who will go on into their first working life and have a lot of financial companies calling them, do you want to have a credit card? I know that happened to me. Before anything, I just realized I was in a lot of debt. And, you know, it's like you say, financial literacy, very, very important.
Yep. And you're right, you know, Nadia. It's like a lot of them start to go with, I mean, it's easy to talk about lending, it's easy to talk about savings, and it's easy to talk about, you know, all this investment. But insurance is the most difficult part. But insurance is the one that give each and everyone the right protection and safeguard in the events of something bad happen. And that's the part that not many fintech players are really promoting and really driving awareness in that part. So we are a big proponent on that as well.
Yeah, raising awareness, very important. Very, very important. Speaking from personal experience. But you know what? Recently, VSure signed a collaboration, right, with Pusat Wakaf MAIWP. So I'm just wondering, how does this position VSure, especially within the Muslim community?
Yeah, interesting. This is a very interesting development, and I just want to go back to the point that Alston mentioned. During the pandemic, of course, we faced a lot of challenges, and also during the pandemic, we found, and this is where when you are down in the rock bottom, you found a silver lining, and then you start to come back. Anything that you go down and you manage to come back. And COFAB was born. COFAB is a program, we call it Community Financial Assistance Program, was born in the midst of the pandemic where, we were at the darkest moment, we found something to bounce back, right? And the idea about COFAB is to provide a community-based mutual financial assistance. It's like, how do we enable a platform, a concept that actually can help people to protect each other through cash financial assistance, right? In the situation of COVID or any, defined critical illness and stuff like that, the family or the individual are given a sum of money to go through the difficult period, right? So through that, I think, when we've developed that concept, that platform, and through obviously Alston's innovative proposition on the products, right? We managed to also, get a Sharia, we managed to get it through a Sharia pronounced, Sharia certified, right? That this is a Sharia program. And through this Sharia program, we've been working with different partners, exploring opportunities, how to actually go live. And finally, we managed to get a strong interest from Pusat Wakaf Majlis Agama Wilayah Persekutuan, MAWIP, to partner with us to roll this out within their captive community within MAWIP, right? And with the initial get-go of, I think, 50,000 members that will be coming on board, for us to provide the kind of financial assistance protection to this group of people. In case of any untoward incident, they will be given a cash financial assistance. It is a huge privilege to be working with MAWIP, Pusat Wakaf MAWIP, because they are a very influential Islamic organization or association in the Wilayah Persekutuan. And I believe through these collaborations, we will be able to reach out to more Islamic organizations, to other states within Malaysia, and then bring about the right kind of, mutual financial assistance program within different Islamic community. And hence, also positioning VSure to also offer, something like a digital takaful model or Islamic Sharia compliant model kind of financial services.
I believe that it's one thing to try and educate or try and advocate for insurance for the people who do live like urban people, but then reaching out to the masses, to the other parts of Malaysia, that's going to be yet another challenge, right?
Yeah, I think probably just add on to here. Like what Nadia have mentioned. That's really true. That how we want to increase the awareness and also increase the kind of the importance of the getting yourself protect. But for this COFAB that we have actually designed is kind of an alternate option or alternate kind of a way in getting yourself protection, because we are positioning this as more of a cash kind of assistance or even cash relief program where you got in, or even is a very bite-sized kind of a subscription fee that you just need to pay every month, and in return, in the event of any accident happen or any things happen, unfortunate circumstances happen, we will actually allow you to actually getting some of the form of the cash relief from this kind of a pool of the money that we have collected. So in a way, I would say this is more of an alternate solution to the insurance product, and which is where you can get it more kind of with a lower premium, lower contribution, lower fee, and also it's more accessible to the community. So hence, I think COFAB is where our idea is really a mutual platform where promoting like kita jaga kita kind of concept.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Out of curiosity, right? Just with a huge growth in the number of fintechs right now, do you think that this could be a threat for traditional insurers?
This is a very good question. This is always a question being posed to us as the pioneering fintech or insurtech players versus the incumbents, right? The banks and the insurance company. 5 years ago, I would say that the skepticism by the incumbents, right, about this insurtech or fintech companies, what do they do, right? Are they eating into our space? Are they, going to be, eating into our market shares and all this stuff? But I think the last 3 years, the kind of skepticism is kind of like diminishing and changing because when any new entry of a new innovative proposition, there will always be, a positive and negative side, right? I think, in our case, it started with negative side, people seeing us as a threat. But eventually, over the last couple of years, they're seeing us as more and more as a strategic partner instead of being a threat, right? Because, of the changing landscape that we operate in. Environments changing, social demographics changing, technologies changing, all this stuff, right? And InsurTech, for the last 5 years, we have proven ourselves to be a lot more agile in terms of being more curious about what's happening and being adaptive to technological changes and taking those technological changes as part of building it as part of our service unique selling proposition and making more accessible to the customers, adaptive to the more tech savvy new social demographics. From that, it becomes more and more of a advantage to the incumbents. I would say that over the last couple of years, VSure ourselves, we are getting a lot of support from the incumbents. Instead of seeing us as the threat or competitor, they see us more of a, as a complementer. In many ways, as a frenemy as well, right? So we do get involved in certain speaking engagements, sharing information, but in many ways, so we're also partnering in terms of co-curating products. Like Alston said, apart from our own flagship product, FlexiFit, we also work with incumbent insurers to co-curate unique products to be made available on our platform, and how we can complement their company, their product proposition, and also their own agency as well. So it's a very interesting time, to be honest, Nadia. I think I will always go back to the concept about the romance of the three kingdoms, right? It's like there's the regulator who keep pushing for the innovation, positive disruption. There's incumbent insurers out there, and there's insurtech like us. But we are like playing very closely together, but also having a bit of knowing where not to cross the line. So it's very romantic, I would say, at this point within the three parties.
It's like you said, it's a frenemy kind of relationship. But you mentioned earlier that you're expanding overseas, and I believe overseas that country is actually England, UK, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so besides expanding VSure to UK, what are your next plans?
First of all, when we set up VSure, we've decided not to be just a jago kampung, right? We wanted to be a regional player. As when we first started about 4 years ago, we always have this mindset that, as a digital platform is highly scalable, we should aspire to be a regional player, a regional on-demand lifestyle protection provider across Southeast Asia. Of course, our ambitions got further emboldened, through a lot of our relationship, from the co-founders, Alston, myself. We came from other multinationals where we have built very strong relationship with counterparts in overseas. In this case, particularly in UK, we have a very strong partner over there who decided to go on a very strategic JV with us, with VSure being the majority. And we have joined hands to secure our first MGA license in UK. And it's not easy to get an MGA license in UK. We got it within the record time, within 4 months, right? With that has also attracted quite a lot of attention from some of the Malaysian government agencies to throw in a lot of support, right? We did our signing in the Malaysia Embassy in UK. We also got support from MPDC and all this stuff, right? So, and also the regulator is also, keeping an eye on us. They say, oh, wow, we should manage to get a MGA license in UK, right? It proved to show that Malaysia fintech company or insurtech like us, we really has the potential. Actually, Malaysia fintech company has a lot of potential to scale across the globe. So, and if you've seen that there's quite a number of unicorns that are already out there, right? But in fintech, I think sky is no longer the limit, right? We are in a way like some of the government agencies put it, right? Is that we are the first fintech company that is exporting financial services back to the West. We're the first one. So, I mean, for the last 57 years, 60 years since independence, we've been importing financial services from the West. We are the first one that's exporting financial services back to the West. So apart from UK, our aspiration, of course, is continue to strengthen our presence in Malaysia. But we are, over the next 12 to 24 months, we do have ambitions to scale across Southeast Asia, particularly Indonesia, Philippines, Indochina side, So, but that's something that Alston, myself, and the strategy team, we are constantly, looking into, product strategy, market strategy, and partnership, and how do we scale across the region. And not to mention, because of our Sharia compliant product CoFab, we also managed to attract some potential partners in the Middle East as well.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Alston, you want to weigh in on why the decision to expand to UK though? Like why specifically UK?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I believe Eddy have just mentioned we met the right people. I think that's where the main kind of ingredient for us. So we have the right people, we have the right talent that are willing to work with us to form this strategic JV, to really work on some of the cool, I would say, proposition in the UK itself. So we want to actually revamp the traditional insurance market with an affordable and more flexible community-based insurance in UK to cater the needs for the SME. So our first step is actually coming to the SME business owner and how we want to create this kind of affordable, low premium, community-based insurance that we have not been seen in the market, and we want to bring this concept into the UK and make everyone take care of each other, the business owner. We also expanded the kind of to just positively disrupt the kind of others international insurance market to give us a more international presence, and of course building our network at the same time. So how we actually make VSure not just a Malaysia brand, but how can we also position ourselves or feature ourselves in the international kind of a show step, a stage. So which is where like what Eddy have also mentioned, the next phase for us is not just stopping at UK, but what we are really looking is really the Southeast Asia, the Indochina, and definitely across the whole Asia Pacific. And we believe the world are actually getting more and more modern these days. And of course, digital or technology is borderless. It can be scaled to everywhere, at kind of any time as well. So it's also the same applies to the product innovation. The concept could be very similar. It's just that how we goes into the market to kind of handhold with our partner and as well as the regulator at the kind of a local content. So how can we make it to be more relevant, to be more market competitive, and to be more kind of understand the market needs, the local market needs, for us to scale it, to bring our technology as well as our product innovation into the other region or even other country that would be more suitable and more kind of cater for the needs. Yeah, so hence I would say we really want to keep up with this kind of increasing demand for digitalization, the flexibility, and even how are we actually adapt to the local market situation.
Yeah, and just to add on to Alston's point, right, that is precisely what we talk about innovation, right? Like CoFab, it's Sharia compliant, and yes, in Malaysia, it's more appealing to the Islamic, the Muslim community. But the CoFab concept itself is actually benefiting the masses, right? When we spoke to our partner in UK, our CEO in UK, Gary Ross was saying that, hey, you know what, Eddy, CoFab can be applicable to UK, but but yeah, I mean, we don't have to put in the word Islamic and all this stuff, but the concept itself is benefiting the masses, and that is highly applicable to the UK community as well. Yeah, it's just need to tweak a little bit, and that's how innovation takes place. I think what matters most is what really matters to the people, right? Technology is a given. I think, we as a tech company, we can employ technology at any point in time, that is relevant. But more importantly, it's about really understanding if there's a demand and how do we innovate the product to fit the demand using technology as an enabler. So yeah, that's how innovation happened. That UK. I think UK is a very interesting story, and then if we got more time, we can spend more time talking about it, right? I think Gary is also another nice guy, and perhaps in future you might want to talk to Gary as well.
I guess ultimately it's all about what the consumer needs and what the consumer wants, right? So if you can fill that gap, then you're the one. But I love you guys and I love what you're doing. I'm a big fan of startups, and this is a brilliant product, I feel. And this discussion has been super insightful. So thank you so much, both of you, for spending time with us.
Thank you. Thanks, Nadia.
Thank you. Thanks, Nadia.
I hope that this discussion was also beneficial to our audience out there. And if you're watching right now, let's not forget, here are the main reasons why having an insurance is necessary. Number one, of course, you want financial security, as all of us do. And number two is complete protection for you and your entire family. Number three, of course, you want no more stress or tension during difficult times. I think a lot of us learned so much of that during the pandemic because we were not prepared for that at all. And of course, last but not least, most importantly, is a peace of mind at all times. You can have a nice retirement. I know some people who have retired and all they do is travel every month because they have really good insurance plans. Now, for more information, you can visit their website at www.vsure.life. I'm going to close this session today, and perhaps like Eddy said, we might be seeing you again soon. Thank you and good evening.
Good evening. Thank you.
Good evening. Bye.